You've heard it 100 times. Red meat causes cancer. Cut it out. Eat less of it. It's dangerous. But is that actually what the science says? Or is this one of the most oversimplified health headlines of the last 20 years? Let's look at what the research actually shows, without the panic. First, where did this claim come from? In 2015, the World Health Organization classified processed red meat as a Group 1 carcinogen and unprocessed red meat as a Group 2A carcinogen. Those headlines spread fast, and most people stopped reading after the word carcinogen. But here's what that classification actually means. Group 1 simply means there is sufficient evidence of a link. It does not tell you how strong that link is. Alcohol is also Group 1. So is processed meat like bacon and hot dogs. So is tobacco. But the risk levels are not the same. Not even close. Tobacco increases your lifetime risk of lung cancer by around 2,500%. The increased risk from regularly eating processed red meat is estimated at around 17 to 18% above the baseline. That sounds alarming until you understand the baseline. Colorectal cancer affects roughly 5% of people over a lifetime. An 18% increase on that baseline raises it to around 6%. That is a real increase. But it is not the same category of risk as smoking. Now here's the part the headlines almost never mention. The research linking red meat to cancer is largely based on observational studies. These studies track what large groups of people eat over time and look for correlations. But correlation is not causation. People who eat large amounts of processed red meat also tend to eat fewer vegetables. They often exercise less. They are more likely to smoke. They consume more ultra-processed foods overall. These studies try to account for those factors, but separating them perfectly is extremely difficult. And unprocessed red meat, like a grass-fed steak or a lamb chop, tells a different story than processed meat like deli slices, hot dogs, and fast food burgers. Lumping them together in one category creates enormous confusion. Red meat also contains nutrients that are genuinely hard to get elsewhere. It is one of the richest sources of bioavailable iron, meaning the kind your body actually absorbs efficiently. It is high in zinc, B12, creatine, and complete protein. These are nutrients that support brain function, immune health, and muscle maintenance. So what is a reasonable way to think about this? The research does suggest that eating large amounts of heavily processed red meat regularly, things like cured meats, deli products, and fast food, is associated with higher health risks. That signal is consistent across multiple studies, but a moderate amount of unprocessed red meat as part of a diet rich in vegetables, fiber, and whole foods looks very different in the data. Context matters enormously in nutrition science, and the full picture is almost always more nuanced than a single headline can capture. Your body deserves accurate information, not fear. Understand the difference between processed and unprocessed. Look at your overall dietary pattern and make decisions based on the full evidence, not just the version that fits on a news headline.